Hi, I'm Tyler.
Hi, Tyler. I'm Retta.
Oh, great to meet you.
My name is Retta, and Tyler may know me from Parks and Recreation.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, did it all myself.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous.
I know Tyler because I watch the show. I cry every episode. So I'm slightly obsessed, and I'm hoping I don't embarrass myself or Tyler. I'm very excited to have you, my friend.
I'm so glad. When the door opened, I was met by a really lovely lady, but I had absolutely no idea who answered it. Before I start, I always kind of like to just explain my process.
When he was explaining how he works, I was like, in my head, I was like, I know how it works. You scribble, I got it. I'm ready for it. You're gonna sweat, I understand. I'm a sweater too.
That's really what it's all about.
Okay.
So
I know you, guy. I know your thing. I know your sitch. I know your situation. I know your methods. So let's go.
Are you interested in hearing from people on the other side, or are you more curious about your personal life?
First, I want to know the Powerball number. And then, beyond that, I do want to know about career.
Okay.
I tend to be anxious about work and needing to know when this is going to happen, when something's going to come up, whatever. That's the nature of an actor. You're still anxious. You'll be in a hit show and you're like, when this ends, will I work again?
So I'm just gonna kind of scribble. I'll do my thing. I'll let you know what's coming through, what we connect with, and we'll see what we do. Okay, so this is interesting. Really quickly, can I do health just really fast, if you don't mind?
If Tyler says, I think you need to get something checked out, I'm leaving from here to get it checked out.
Okay. When it comes to actual, physical health, you are gonna deal with a back problem, you're gonna deal with a knee problem, and you're gonna deal with an ankle issue.
I hate you.
But it's all three.
I hate you, dude.
I'm sorry.
That's my life.
I know.
Bad knee, bad ankle, bad back.
Exactly.
I've had these issues, and this last 3 weeks have been brutal. And so he's like, I see an ankle, an issue in the back. I was like, Kenya? Yeah, well.
I'm just gonna keep in mind, but that definitely is the area that I'm looking at. Nothing to worry about. We're gonna give
that.
I know this is, let me think how to frame this, because that's kind of a heavy. There's someone coming through, so do you mind if I talk about people who've passed? We can do anything. I just want to go with wherever you're comfortable with.
I want to, tell me what you can tell me.
Sure.
Unless it's somebody creepy.
Oh, no one. All good. That's fine.
I'm a little bit nervous about the medium part of it. I hope that there's no, bad spirit who like to skin people that for some reason likes me and hangs out at my apartment.
Actually, I have a grandmother coming too. So she's the one who makes the connection. Are you all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. She's acknowledging that she has been gone for quite some time. Is that correct? With your mother's mom?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She passed away not long after I was born.
Okay.
I only have an idea of who she is from the stories that my mother tells me. I've seen pictures and I've heard my mother talk about her parents, so there's a connection I didn't even think was coming.
As she's coming through, she's like a force. She's feisty. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And as she sees herself towards the end of life, she's placing herself alone. And she puts this as being a significant thing and a positive thing, because she was able to be who she truly was. She didn't really feel like she was able to be herself around her grandfather.
That I can get and they were split for a good amount of time. My mother grew up in my grandfather's house.
Sure.
And like you said, she's feisty. Apparently, I get my personality from her. Whenever I was being really goofy, my mother would, see my mother. I just picture her just being like,
right?
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, so her connection to you definitely on the other side is much stronger than in life. But, she has the chance now.
Of course she sees me. Of course she's around me. I'm probably channeling her half the time with my foolishness and when I'm being annoying.
So your grandma's having me kind of talk about some career stuff. Talk about you. So the way that I would word this is that technically if family ends up, if we end up helping family financially, you basically, her way of just saying I'm aware of you, I'm aware of your success. It's important to have healthy boundaries, but family will need your help ultimately.
I help my parents out, so I'm there's that pressure to keep going because it's not just you, it's not just my mortgage. You know what I mean? I guess I hope that everything's it's gonna be okay. Maybe I hope for a little hope. Maybe I hope for a little guarantee. That's what it is.
Now, as we kind of talk about future opportunities and things along those lines within career, it's coming through very clearly, and it's an interesting message of know what you can do, know what you can't, but I would really emphasize, like, relax, it's gonna be all right, because I'm referencing to a really strong career solidification, things along those lines, and that looks good. I can guarantee you it will, but it won't be anything to worry about, and it'll be fine.
It is interesting that it's the grandmother that comes through, because I always thought, oh, I'm sure she watches after me. You know, because now when you say it's my grandmother, I can see her being like,
Exactly.
protecting.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Oh, so great meeting you.
It was nice to meet you. You're
So nice
lovely.
meeting you. Thank you so
You know,
much.
my mother always prays about let the angels watch over when she prays for us, you know. And now I have an idea of which angel it is. You know what I mean? I just feel like I do have somebody else in my family that is telling me I am going in the direction I should be going. Don't make me cry, damn it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. One of the most interesting things about these readings is that it gives people an opportunity to connect to their loved ones that they've oftentimes never even met. And in this case, Aretta's grandmother came through very strongly, which was so interesting because I was trying to focus on career, and she ended up talking to me about Aretta's career. There's some future accomplishments that she has yet to do that her grandmother is aware of, and I think that in going to that next level, she's going to be with her every step of the way.
Tyler, did I tell you that before we left for this trip, I set a pair of my tennis shoes
I
out?
know.
I set my tennis shoes out on the patio,
Two of
and the
them.
next morning I get up and one's gone.
Yeah,
So who took my tennis shoe?
I don't know.
Who would want my tennis shoe? A mountain lion, a coyote, a raccoon?
Well, they smell so bad, they might return it.
No, I'm serious. So I walked around the property to see if maybe they just dragged it off for fun. I cannot find my other tennis shoe.
They should have at least taken the other one to, like,
I know, balance it out. But now I'm down a
right.
pair of tennis shoes.
well, what are you gonna do with one shoe, and what is that wild
I know.
animal gonna do with one?
I know, and who would have thought a wild animal would want a tennis shoe?
Yes.
It's crazy. And they were nice tennis shoes.
There's something about your foot smell, Mom.
Tyler,
Wild
you would think it
animals.
would scare them away, if anything.
So I'm back in New York, and New York is a really intense place for me to visit. Every time that I go, it just can get really draining for me, intuitively. So I have to put on an extra layer of psychic self-defense.
My name is Titus Burgess, and I'm one of the stars of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We are in Harlem, my neighborhood, and I love it so much. We're at the famous Minton's Jazz Club. You can kind of feel the music even when it's not playing.
How are you?
You deserve.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so beautiful.
Hello,
Wonderful
can I give
to
you a
meet you. Lovely to meet you.
I've had readings before. I can tell the bullshit. Yeah. From the people who are telling the truth.
So you're from Kimmy Schmidt, right?
Uh-huh.
The show. Yeah, Netflix.
Yes.
It's an honor to meet you.
Oh,
I
wow,
recognize
man.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Greg Glyko, yes, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a bit of an intuitive myself, so I know what's going on.
Well, today I'm really excited to see what comes through. And so when I do a reading, I just kind of like to go naturally and see where I'm drawn. Do you have any objects today?
I don't.
No worries. Okay.
Just my mind.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm just gonna give it one sec to just scribble, and we'll see what comes through.
Do your thing.
And we'll go from there.
You're like a superhero.
Oh, you're so cute.
I do have a question about something I'm working on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been working on it for about 6 or 7 years now.
Okay.
Do you see anything?
Let's see. I'll tap into career and just see if it can pick up in general.
Very
anything.
good.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes up. So this is good to keep in mind just as I'm reading just general career. There's a lot of different things that you'll have opportunities to do. Now, a big one that they're putting an emphasis on is actually not in front of the camera or on stage. They're actually having me acknowledge writing, directing, producing, like creating. There's going to be a double incarnation of a stage opportunity. And by double incarnation, I would mean, the only way I could symbolically kind of interpret that would be like if we have done something on stage, like a show, and then it either comes back or is added onto. It's kind of hard to explain and weird as it even sounds, but it's two incarnations of kind of the same subject.
Okay.
And it does seem staged performance-oriented, so that's just something to look forward to in the event that anything we've worked on like comes back in a different way.
Okay.
That looks really cool. So it does not make any logical sense to me, but it's
It
what's
makes
coming
perfect sense to me, Tyler.
Awesome. So that's like thumbs up. Looks amazing, but they're bringing up 2018 as like the time where that ball's gonna get rolling. So that's exciting,
good.
and you have to have that confidence.
You'll have to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to.
So I bought the rights to the Preacher's Wife that Denzel Washington and Whitney Houston starred in '97, and I'm turning it into a stage musical. So the stage musical would be the second incarnation, where he said it will have a double incarnation, which really kind of gave me chills. We'll see it. But that was really crazy.
There's a lot popping in. I'm gonna give it 1 sec. That's great. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're bringing me to your, for sure, mom's side of family, and they're having me talk about your mom's mom. Now, did you know your grandmother on your mom's side of
Oh
family?
yeah,
Awesome.
very well.
Gotcha. Thank you. When she comes across, there's this funny, she's showing me a snappiness, not in a bad way, but like real direct, real quick.
That is.
But she's putting it in orientation with your mom. And so I don't know, this is kind of funny, but she's having me joke about like, romantic situations and your grandmother being snappy with this, either directed at your mom, like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where she would not be afraid to just be like, no.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I witnessed it when I was a kid. Yeah, so that makes sense.
And it came from a place of love, but it might have.
It might not come out like that.
Exactly. Okay, so there's this whole thing coming in. She's putting special around you in the way this is coming in. But there's a feeling of like special even from before you were well known. There's this feeling of like knowing that there was this like destined for greatness kind of thing in the way this comes through. But there's kind of like a joke about it.
My cousins are not happy. I felt like she saw me.
Yes.
That is what I'll say.
Yes.
I was her little sidekick, you know what I mean? I too am very direct. That is what my grandmother's like. I always think about my grandmother. Her cooking, her wit, her singing. We would sing hymns, and when she would sleep, I would lie my head on her stomach to make sure she was breathing still, because I just wanted to make sure she was around forever. And her laugh, because her belly would just like go up and down. Just so cute. She got me. So when she left, I was like, like, I will say I have since walked through the world, having only met a couple of other people who see me. And so her loss was a big one for me.
She's having me joke about trying to come through while you're, how do I word this? Oh my God, this is awkward.
Careful the things you say.
Being intimate.
Oh my God.
This is awkward, but you are going to get a connection from your grandmother in a time of intimacy, sir. And that is awkward, and I'm sorry, but she's joking about this the way this comes across.
Oh my.
And it's just like, interrupted, so that's all I'll say on the matter.
Nuts. It happens all the time.
Oh no.
There's no way. I've never told anyone that.
Yeah.
That is.
So sorry about that. She's aware.
Well, you could kind of ask her to stop. There are plenty of other moments, Grandma. I've never, ever voiced that to anyone.
Those are the things that validate it, you know?
That is crazy.
But please know, and it's, it's not a bad thing. They don't judge or anything along those lines, but there's better times for her to connect. So maybe when you notice that happening, just say, hey, I'll catch you next time.
Talk it up.
Right?
You keep going. Grandma, you leave. Oh, Tyler. Out of all the things, I was like, I cannot believe you were telling me this, because I have never voiced this to anyone. Wow.
Let me see there. There's this weirdness. For some reason, she's showing a distance at the time that she passed away.
Yeah.
It's weird with this, because she's having me say, oh, let this go, let this go, let this go. Like, she's very casual with this. But whenever they do this, it's their way of acknowledging that at the time of death, someone wasn't able to physically be there at the time of passing. And she's like, oh, like showing me her whole life. And she's like, we don't need to be here at the time of death. Like, I don't, it's not necessary.
Yeah, I was here, and I had just gotten to New York and couldn't afford to fly back home. And so I think that's that's always been something that I wrestle with.
Absolutely, because when it comes in, it's like, showing me her whole life, and then showing me the passing, and it's like, there's no need to be there. That's not what my life was about.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to connect with anyone. I was open to whoever came across that Tyler felt I needed to hear from. But I was not expecting such pointed information. She was great, and I miss her so, but I've been able to move out of the mourning period, which I never thought I would leave. There are days I miss her severely, but it is a connection, it's a live wire.
It's beautiful, I think, when we get to a point in our grief when we think of the person and we're not immediately sad. You know?
Yeah.
It's beautiful when we get to that point when we think of them and we smile. We're able to kind of appreciate their life.
Yeah.
And that's a good point in our process to get to.
Yeah. Everything that I am, I will associate with her. I think of her with a sense of gratitude, such profound gratitude. Is doing a reading for you like running a marathon? Like, do you have to go like eat a bunch and take a long nap?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I stock up on protein bars, as can be seen in these muscles. Yep, all those guns. But yeah, it's a lot. It's very.
I just can't
mentally-
imagine. I know he's being for real. Do you understand? Okay. He couldn't possibly. He's real. Yeah. It's nice to know that there is a you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Oh my God,
Titus,
this is everything.
seriously, so wonderful. I'm such a fan of you, seriously.
Likewise.
Thank you for
Likewise.
everything. Probably the only reading I've ever done where someone's came through and acknowledged being around someone during moments of intimacy. That was a little awkward, but it's a sign, and it validated it to him that clearly she was coming through, so I'm just the messenger. That was awkward to see.